So this is part 3 in our QGIS making a map video, and so this is where we add some detail to our two maps that we have added to QGIS. So again, you can see we can select the different maps just by switching back and forth here, but we want to stay on this second map just for a minute and see if we can't add a few things. Okay, so we're moving on to step 17 in making a map. And so what we're going to do is go over here to properties, and in our properties we're going to look at a few things. Okay, so you can see we've got item properties. If you click on layout, you can see where it's at and stuff like that. But we're going to stay on item properties up here for a minute, and we're going to just toggle these shut for a second, and we're going to go down to frame. And we're going to click on frame. Okay, and we want it black, right? And at 0.3 meters. So everything looks good. You can see now that we have a little frame around this portion of our map. Okay. All right. So from there, we'll go on to step 18. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to go to overview. So I'm going to toggle that shut, and I'm going to go up to, actually, I'm going to switch this to map 1 for a second. We're going to switch to map 1, and then we're going down here, and we are going to change a few things here. Okay. We want to go to overviews right there. All right, and so then we're going to click on the plus sign. So what is an overview? Well, sometimes when you look at a map, so when we look at a map and we've got this little inset map over here, we want to know where this map is on the bigger map, and so we're going to make a little box around here. So we'll click on this. Okay. All right, so and we're going to, I just clicked on the overview, and you can see it looks something like that. But if you can see in the instructions, say this should say map 2. So let's put in map 2. Looks good. Okay, we're going to leave that color there. We're going to multiply, turn this to multiply. Oops. Map 2, still there. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, and we've got to draw a frame, and it is not showing up. Okay, so you'll know you were successful when the little red box shows up around here. So if it doesn't show up, just keep trying to click on it. On this map frame and select map 2 here. When it finally sets in, it should show you a little red box, and now we know that this box up here is indicating the area on this map. Okay, so let's go on to step 20, and what we want to do now is add some grid lines. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to grids. So here is grids. And so under grids, we've hit this toggle button, and we're going to click the plus sign. Okay. And we've got to click on that plus sign, and we want to modify the grid. Now this looks a little different from the instructions. That's okay. It's going to do the same thing. And it pulls up all of this information, bringing us to step 21. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to change the CRS. We'll talk more about what the CRS is later on in the semester. But just know that different maps are laid out slightly differently, and so that's what we're going to do. Now, we want to change things just a bit. So if you click on it, some things that are preloaded will show up. What we want is not preloaded. So we have to go to this button right over here on the right, and we're going to click on that. So we've clicked on that. We want to use a CRS map. We're going to click on a custom. Nope. Predefined CRS. Sorry. Predefined CRS. And in the filtering button here, we're going to type in the numbers 4326. Okay. And just click enter. Okay. And so under mine, 4326 showed up right away, and it's right there. Okay. If it doesn't and this area is empty, you should still see down here in the coordinate reference system a geographic 2D. And if you click on that little toggle button, then you should see that, and you can double click on that and it should populate this area up here. Okay, and so that is what we are hoping for. Okay, all right, so we are now set to go move forward a little bit. I understand that it looks a little bit different on the instructions. That's just because the software has updated since those images were posted. So what we've got to do now is change the appearance. So I'm going to click this button up here, Map Properties, and I'm going to back out just a little bit, and you'll see Map Grid Properties, Grid Type, and all of this information here. What I want to do is change the interval to 5. Make sure it's 5 decimal. And you can see that we now have some grid lines on there. And then the last thing is this X offset. I want to also be 1 right there. And I want this Y to be 0. Okay. All right. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is move on to step 24. And in step 24, we want to draw our coordinates. So we're going to scroll down. So we didn't go anywhere. We're still on Map Grid Properties. We're going to draw our coordinates. We're going to click on this box. And we're going to change this to custom. Okay, custom. And you can click on this little backwards E, and you get this thing here. And your instructions in your lab manual give you the specific code to put in there. So I'm just going to copy and paste that over. And then I'm going to click OK. So this code that I copied and pasted in there is in your under step 25 in your instructions. Just click OK. And I did that. And then what we're going to do is your instructions in the lab manual. Let's see if I can get this to show up right. Oops. So our instructions in the lab manual tell it. So we did that. We've changed this to custom, draw coordinates. We've added our data. Now we need to make sure that all of this information matches what is over here. Okay. So I've got custom, show all, vertical ascending. So we want to change that. Vertical ascending. And so you'll immediately see that some things have occurred here. Okay, We've got some coordinates around here. But these are on the outside of our frame, so we need to make sure that they're on the inside of the frame. So I'm going to change that. Inside of the frame, inside of the frame, and I've got to change this to vertical descending in order for it to match. And inside the frame, horizontal. I want that inside the frame. It keeps, okay, horizontal. For some reason my bottom numbers are still on the outside of the, oh, because I have to scroll down and put them on there. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now on the left side, we've got inside the frame vertical, ascending. Right side, inside the frame vertical, descending. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to add some more content to our second map here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our second map, and so you can see we've got boxes around our second map. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go up here, and I'm going to add an item, and we are going to add a rectangle. That's what we're going to do. So add a shape and a rectangle, and I'm just going to add that right down here. And you can see over in our box that we've added a rectangle over here. Now I want this to look different. I want it to look kind of like the rest of the map, so I'm really quickly going to change its color to this light blue color here. It's fairly standard on maps, so I've done that. It's a little bit big. Let's shrink it down just a tad. Okay. There we go. So we've got all of Japan still in the screen. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a image to that. So we're going to go up here to add item and add picture. Click. We're adding the picture, and it's going to be like right here. Okay. And what we want to do is add an arrow, a north arrow. Okay. And you can see there's the north arrow we want, and by adding that, now I've got my north arrow on there, and that completed step 30. Okay. Now we're going to add a scale bar. So we'll add item and scale bar. I'm going to add that right here. Okay. So our scale bar does not quite look what's like in the instructions. So we're going to go over to item properties, making sure that the scale bar is outlined. Okay. And what we're going to do, so we've already got it in kilometers, and the unit is 1 in km, but we want to change this to right 3. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to scroll down, and that's a fixed width. to 200. Okay, got that. And let's see, we want just double checking all the things we got on here. Oh, we want, I see what I did. See up here it says style single box. I want it to be a double box. And so now our box is correct. And now I can stretch this out a little bit if I want. But we're going to leave it like that. Okay. Alright, so we want to add some labels here. So we're going to go up to add items again. Add item, and we're going to add a label. And I am going to put my label right here. And over here, I'm going to delete what's there and add Japan. And Japan's a bit small on there. So I can go down here to font and click on font and increase its font size to, oh, let's do 30. That's probably good. Okay. And then I'm going to add item label one more time. And right here, I'm going to add just some information. Made with QGIS using natural earth data. And I'm going to stretch this out a bit. Just click on that and stretch it out. And so, and it's a little spread out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this up to make it look better, and then I'm going to shrink this down, and I'm going to shrink this down just to make it look a bit better. Okay, and hey, look at this, I've got a map. And so now what we can do, once we've got a map that's useful, that was unintended. Move things around a little bit. There we go. You know, I think I'm going to just make that font just a tad bigger again. So I went into font. I'm going to make it 35. Just a tad bigger. There we go. And so now what you can do is print it out. The lab says to import it as an image or export it as an image, and you can certainly do that. I prefer you to turn it in as a PDF so you can export it as a PDF. And you can just put your name, GIS map lab 1, and then your name, and it will save. Now make sure you remember where you saved it to. So this is going to my downloads folder, and it's going to tell me where it's going, stuff like that, and all that information. So I'm just going to go down here to I'm going to open this up just when it's done and click save. So what's this doing? It is now making a PDF of this. Now if you print this out, it should look just like this, and you should be good to go. So I hope this was a helpful tutorial, and good luck.